welcome to WTN Informer. I am Desiree Mago. Time to take a look at what's making the news. There are big expectations for the high tourism season, especially the cruise passengers for St. Martin. Reconstruction of the pier and increase in security for the safety of all passengers coming to the island is just some of the main issues that the Harbor Group of companies is working on. In a State of Affairs press conference on Thursday morning, Harbor Group CEO Mark Mingo touched on the critical points the Harbor is presently working on.
Let me give you an update. I think several months back, the shareholder representative of the Minister of the Harbor did give an update that Pier 1 needs some significant redesigning and repairs. What we did before the season is we did some temporary repairs on that pier, and the pier is ready for the season. As you saw this week, we had 4 ships in port, so the cruise season has started again. This week also we had a very important meeting with Minister Heiliger, and he reiterated that Pier 1 needs to be redesigned and make sure that the new redesign will be in place. If it goes in phases, that is really not that much of importance, but Pier 1 will be repaired and make sure it will be strengthened for any weather or anything coming in.
And how are we paying for that? How to finance it?
Well, the Harbour does have funds available for investments, and in this case, Pier 1 is number one priority of the cruise facilities.
If I could just quickly, I know there was a bit of an argument back and forth with the contractor who built the pier, with you saying that no, you didn't build it properly, them saying no, you put ships too big. Has that now been resolved?
Well, what happens is we have taken all steps as management and board of directors to make sure to address the issue, and our legal team is of course also looking at the legalities of it when you look at guarantees of a pier and contractual guarantees. What I understood is also engineering firm who designed the pier will be coming to the island as well to review. But basically we are still saying that the design of the pier is up for discussion. I don't want to say too much because we're still looking into those matters.
So there's a possibility that you will make the initial investment and then the contractor, if found in fault, will have to pay back.
Yeah, that is correct. But we cannot sit back, and I've discussed this very detailed with the minister, with the shareholder representatives as well. We cannot sit back and leave it up for anyone else, because end of the day, bringing the cruise ships is of course very vital for the economy of St. Martin. Yeah, I think we mentioned it. You know, we're in November now. The exit for the year looks very good. We're still projected at 1.46. We said 1.6, but usually what happens is that in the later months, November, December, the occupancy actually goes up. So we hope to still hit a 1.6, but it's still projected at about 1.5.
We have new calls for the season?
Yes, we have an inaugural call on Monday.
Silhouette.
Yeah, the Silhouette Celebrity. What we've seen, of course, is there are some shifts going on in the markets. For example, Europe was a very, let's put it, like destination for the summer. And what you see is that that is actually cooling off now. So there are some positive signs for the Caribbean market. I cannot give you the details yet for the seasons 13 and 14. That usually comes out in April of the year. So usually it would be then April of 2012. I will be able to tell you what's happening in season for 13 and 14.
The transshipment, we've been trying to become a transshipment hub. How has that been going along, and how is the cargo side of the port doing?
Well, as you know, for the last 2 years, the cargo volume has dropped. And I think of last year we did have a, let's put it this way, we hit the bottom, as you would say in normal English terms. Last year for October year to date we did about 18,000, let's say 600 TUs, and this year For the same time, we did about 18,950 TEUs. That's about a 2% increase. So we see a little increase. That is a positive sign as well. We all know that there are not much projects going on the island. And we're also looking, of course, at the stayover tourism, and cruise tourism also impacts the container movements as well. Consumption impacts container movements. So positive but cautious outlook for the imports. For transshipment business, which has been a focus for the last, let's say, 2-3 years. There's some transshipment projects in its final stages. I can't say too much about that, but if I give you the figures for transshipment business, for last year, the same period, we did about 5,493 TEUs transshipment, and this year, same time year to date, October, we are doing 6,625, which is about an increase of 20%. So transshipment is indeed helping out to our bottom line for cargo, but we're not there as yet. So we still need to make sure to finalize what we have started with transshipment projects.
What do you need to do further to sort of get that market to bloom a little bit more?
Well, the developments is very important. The developments for the surrounding islands, as the media wrote in the newspaper, and I'm trying to get some more details on that as well, is of course the development in Shrub Island and Willa. If you talk about those kind of projects for the surrounding islands, that will majorly impact our transshipment business. Most of that big business containers come through St. Martin with several carriers, and that is very important. That is one side of it. The second side of it as well is, of course, what is happening in the cargo logistic industry. We all know that the Panama Canal will be opening in 2014, and there will be a shift of containerized transshipments within the Caribbean. There are a lot of, let's put it this way, opportunities. Of course, these vessels are much larger, but that also means that the transshipment, let's put it this way, structure in the Caribbean, as a sub-feeder port as St. Martin, will and could benefit from this new development.
The Parliament of St. Martin met with the management of the St. Martin Medical Center on Thursday morning to discuss the operation of the hospital and to give members of Parliament indication of the expansion plan of the center. President of Parliament Gracita Arundel made a general introduction before starting the meeting.
So again, once more on behalf of Parliament, we want to thank you for inviting us to give you a presentation. After the presentation, I assume the members will be free to ask you questions, not only on the presentation but on other matters. I believe we are also going to get a tour of the premises, so that tour is part of the presentation. I would have to excuse myself sometime during the meeting. I hope I could be part of the entire presentation because I have a schedule at the school as well. I believe one more MP also. The other MPs that you missed, they are on a working visit, so that's the reason why they could not be here today. I gather that there will be a meeting planned, also with a permanent committee on healthcare. So you could expect an invitation to that extent to come to Parliament to meet with the members of Parliament as well. So thank you once more, and let me introduce just briefly, the others could introduce themselves, the Vice President of Parliament, Mr. Leroy de Weaver, and the second Vice President of Parliament, Mr. Patrick Illich. And of course we have Dr. Lloyd Richardson, MP, Mr. George Panderflet, MP Hyacinth Richardson, MP Dr. Ruth Douglas, and MP Franz Richardson, and of course MP Mr. Roy Marling, and to support staff that is with us here this morning as well. So thank you very much, and we give the floor back to you.
And that brings us to the end of WTN Informer. I am Desiree Mago. Thank you for watching. Happy St. Martin's Day. Enjoy your week.